Joe Biden continuing his first trip to the Middle East as U.S. president. In several hours, he is due to arrive in Saudi Arabia on a controversial visit. Energy and security will be on the table, but looming large over the trip are human rights issues. The U.S. president wrote an editorial in the Washington Post explaining why he was making the trip, acknowledging that many Americans would not agree with it. Well, for more, let's speak to France 24's very own François Piccard, standing by in the commercial capital of Jeddah. Hello to you, François. Joe Biden taking that very unusual decision to write an op-ed in the Washington Post to defend this trip before it even began. Tell us what's at stake.
The stakes are extremely high. He had called the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, a pariah. And of course, the optics are going to be very different when he meets the heir to the Saudi throne here in Mecca. Of course, so much has changed under Joe Biden's watch. First, there's been that thaw in relations among regional rivals here. He's coming to Jeddah, not to Riyadh. That's because it's a regional summit taking place under Saudi auspices. And second, of course, is February the 24th and Russia's invasion of Ukraine. We now have an energy crisis. The price of gasoline in the United States, a major threat for Americans and for his Democratic majority in Congress. So, yeah, he's going to be meeting the Crown Prince. Now, if you're waiting to find out whether it's going to be a handshake, a fist bump, or a hug, all we know is it won't be at the airport. The Crown Prince will be alongside his father, the King, at the palace here in Jeddah. He'll instead be met by the governor of Mecca region.
Yeah, not at the airport, but the airport's still in the news, Francois. Saudi Arabia taking some steps to normalize relations with Israel.
Yeah, and we had an announcement earlier in the day with the opening of airspace to all flights, a way of saying to all Israeli flights. There was a corridor that already had been opened in 2020. Now, we've already had a first direct flight by a U.S. president, but it was by Donald Trump in the other direction, from Riyadh to Tel Aviv. This time, it's the first time that a U.S. president is going to be himself going from Israel to Saudi Arabia when he lands here in a short while. And it is significant. The National Security Advisor of Joe Biden calling this the result of persistent and principled diplomacy. Principled diplomacy, again, this allusion to the unease that you mentioned at the outset over Joe Biden crossing swords with Mohammed bin Salman over the Khashoggi affair in the past.
All right, Francois, thank you very much. François Piccard reporting from Jeddah.